Now, I don't know if a lot of people have talked about it, but one of the most interesting things that I was researching was about broadcast intrusions. Nowadays, we don't have to worry about it, but I guess our equivalent has to be about people getting our IP address and hacking and getting all of our information. But back in the day when we were watching TV, all we had to worry about was if someone was gonna hack the broadcast and put in something spooky and freak out the public. And well, that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So today I have some of the most infamous broadcast intrusions, but I'm not just going to be talking about regular broadcast intrusions that have been talked about by other YouTube channels, but these are going to be more specifically Lost Media Broadcast Intrusions. You know, I like to talk about Lost Media, so we're going to be talking about Lost Media. With all that being said, I've talked enough. It's now time to get into this video, and here are some Lost Media Broadcast Intrusions. Alright, so let's get this one over with, as it is the most popular one. In November 2nd, 1987, the night 2 different TV stations in Chicago were interrupted by a man in a Max Headroom mask. Now, it is unknown why someone would do this. A lot of people have constructed theories with it being a protest from a former employee to a form of cyber terrorism. Now, no one knows who this man really is, as I stated, and honestly, at this point, it's probably not going to matter, as that guy is probably going to die in a couple of years. And in order to protect his identity, I doubt he will ever release his whereabouts. Now, the second broadcast was recorded since it was interrupting an episode of Doctor Who. So some people were most likely recording that episode of Doctor Who, which is how we got the recording. But a lot of people don't have a recording of the first interruption. Apparently it's because it interrupted a news program. Not a lot of people will be having that recording, especially the audio, and in fear of revealing its identity, I doubt we will be able to find the first whole complete intrusion. And I mean, at this point, the legend of Max Headroom has been talked about forever. There have been many videos, documentaries, many news outlets have talked about it. I think it's time to move on to talk about some others that haven't been mentioned. In September 6th, 1987, a hijack happened after a screening of 3 Daughters on the Playboy Channel. It was interrupted by a message that displayed this text: "Thus saith the Lord the God, remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Repent, the kingdom of heaven is at hand." It is reported that Thomas Haney was responsible for not just the incident, but also satellite piracy. After realizing that Haney was using the equipment from his work in the Christian Broadcasting Network, investigators said that the CBN has the power to jam the Playboy signal, even though they've denied it. The jury has cited and prosecuted Haney on 2 of 6 counts, receiving 3 years of probation, a $1,000 fine, and 150 hours of community service. But as for the video, there is no footage that has resurfaced, and with a lot of people looking for it, I doubt it will ever be found. On April 27th, 1986, a man by the name of John R. McDougal pulled a Max Headroom and interrupted a broadcast from the HBO network. Feeling like HBO has been taking advantage of the people and upping their prices, McDougal, who was working part-time as an operational engineer, put it upon himself to pull not 1 but 2 hijackings. The first one was done on April 20th at 12:49 a.m. as a test run. After succeeding, he pulled a second one after interrupting a showing of the film The Falcon and the Snowman with this message: "Good evening, HBO, from Captain Midnight. $12.95 a month? No way. Showtime Movie Channel, beware." But unlike the Max Headroom guy, he didn't get away with it. He confessed to the jamming on a payphone, and McDougal surrendered and was charged, being fined $5,000, unsupervised probation for a year, and a suspended license. The second intrusion has been found, but the first intrusion was never recorded, and since it was past midnight, I'm pretty sure not a lot of people have the footage recorded like the Falcon and the Snowman intrusion. On On November 26, 1977, there was a hijacking of a news report with distorting video and input audio. This audio that I'll show you right now has a special message.
This is the voice of Allah, representative of the Ashtar Galactic, speaking to you. For many years you have seen us as lights and as shadows. We speak to you now, to service them as we have done to your brothers and sisters all over this, your planet Earth.
Apparently this message is by the Intergalactic Association, and it warns the viewers to learn to live in peace or leave the galaxy, basically being a threat by some sort of alien. Now, while we do know that the media does exist, the problem is we don't have much information on the actual media itself. Apparently the media was missing and was more of an urban legend, until in 2008 it was put online by a YouTuber called Paranormal. But the thing is, a lot of people question its authenticity, claiming that there are others that are better quality and there are others explaining the mythos of this urban legend. But the thing is, a lot of videos were put online, which means that a lot of them are fake. That's probably the biggest issue with this urban legend, is that we don't know what is real and what is not. We do have confirmation that the one posted in 2008 is real, or at least the most realistic that we have. But I guess it's up to us finding out later if it was actually real and if we can actually find the real missing audio and visual of that intrusion. On September 14th, 1985, a group of Polish astronomers constructed a device to interrupt a television broadcast. After making sure everything is good, they transmitted the message, "Enough price increases, lies and repressions, solidarity, Toru." They did the same thing with a different message. "It is our duty to boycott the election, solidarity, Toru." They were finally arrested in September of 1985, and they were sentenced in January of 1986 to 1 year imprisonment and all of their gear being confiscated. Right now there is no recording, with only news documents of the incident and some recreations of the hijacking. This is going to be the best one. So apparently during the 2016 Olympics being held in Brazil, a weird broadcast of SpongeBob caused hundreds of children to shit themselves. Yes, this is apparently some urban legend or true story that has been posted from people and kids in 2016 in Brazil shitting themselves. Apparently it was covered up by the media. How the kids shit themselves in command was apparently the hijacking played a brown note, so it played a note that immediately made you shit. That's interesting. And one Brazilian anon said it could have come from a bootleg, as Brazil was a hub of bootleg and knockoff cartoons. So I guess this story is apparently in 2016 Brazil had a knockoff version of SpongeBob and broadcasted it, and I guess, I don't know, made the kids that watched it shit themselves. This one is unknown, and I guess it's more of an urban legend and a funny story than an actual piece of lost media, but hey, who knows? And who knows if we'll ever find any of these pieces of lost media, you know, Max Headroom, Captain Midnight, the SpongeBob brown note. We don't know if we will ever find these pieces of lost media. But one thing that I'm pretty sure me and a lot of people can find is the like button and the subscribe button. So follow the YouTube commandments, and thank you guys for watching this video. Goodbye.